One of my favorite things to do in the new year is reflect on the previous year. And that's what this video is all about. Welcome to Wild Spear, where today we'll be talking about the best looks from all the seasons of Drag Race in 2014. For today's list, I'll be including the looks that the queens brought from home as well as looks that they designed in the workroom. I don't watch every single season of Drag Race, I just don't have the time, so I'm only going to be including the seasons that I have seen. If I miss any queens that are from international seasons or that you just think deserve to be on this list, let me know in the comments and give them their flowers there. But without further ado, let's dive into the list. Before we dive into the main list, I do want to talk about one honorable mention for this list. Last week on Canada's Season 5, we had the Alien Superstar runway, and I think almost every queen did an amazing job here. But I want to call out specifically Perla's Alien Superstar look. The more you look at this look, the more interesting it becomes. If you look at the dress, you'll notice it is made out of a ton of different patterns that somehow meld together into a perfect look. She doesn't even need to be an alien to wear this and it would still be couture, but again, it still fits as an alien look. That paired with her choice of skin color, her choice of makeup, and her choice of headpiece turned it into the perfect Alien Superstar couture look. I would love to see where Perla goes from here with her looks because this is the best she has looked and the best anyone has looked on this season so far. If there's one thing Miss Fiercealicious is going to bring to a Drag Race season, it's not just drama, it's amazing runways. We saw it on her original season with her Rococo-inspired look, with her ball looks, and when she came back for Canada vs. the World, I knew I was excited to see what she had to bring. And no, she did not disappoint. There were two looks that Fiercealicious brought that I considered adding to this list. Her first was her Mother Nature runway where she honored her African heritage, but instead I'm going to go with her Crown Me look. I know technically she was not competing at this point, being eliminated just the episode before, but come on. This look is just, I don't know, there's only been a couple of times that I've watched the show and I've actually gasped when a queen walked out, and this was one of them. It's just encapsulating the essence of beauty. I don't know, I'm just speaking in weird jargon now because I think this look is so amazing. She looks like she's resting on a pillow while she walks out on the runway. Miss Fiercealicious might be known for her attitude and for bringing the drama, but she should be remembered as well for her amazing runways. It might be hard to believe, but Canada's Season 4 actually aired this year. Yes, the last 2 episodes were part of 2024. And no, I will not be including Melinda Verga, even though I really want to. Instead, I'll be including Aurora Matrix's Coronation Eleganza from the finale of Canada Season 4. Aurora was somebody who was a real contender for the crown. If Venus hadn't had such an amazing performance in the finale, Aurora would have been our winner. That doesn't mean that we can't celebrate her coronation look though. Aurora was somebody who wasn't afraid to honor her Asian heritage. And with this look, she did just that. What better way to come out on a season in the finale than by wearing a crown yourself? Even though Aurora didn't win the season, she won with this look. The great thing about Drag Race UK is that it does a great job of introducing us to British drag culture, or just British culture in general. The premiere episode every series, we see the queens show us what it's like to be from their hometown. So we get looks from different parts of the UK. What I liked the most about the most recent season of Drag Race was the Doctor Who Is She runway. This is of course inspired by the long-running British TV series Doctor Who, where we have a shape-shifting, time-traveling doctor who needs to save the world. I used to watch it with my British roommate when I was back in college, and yeah, it's a bit campy, but it's a lot of fun. The best Doctor Who runway was something that we completely did not expect, and that was from Lil. Lil's runway was positively grotesque. At least that's what I would call it. It's extremely difficult to look at, but that's what makes it amazing, and that's what makes it drag. We have a lot of queens focused on looking amazing on the runway, which, I mean, who doesn't want to look amazing? But it takes guts for somebody to come out in a look like this. It looked just like something that you would see on the Doctor Who set in a way that not a lot of the other queens were able to capture with this runway. And that's why we have this look on today's list. Season 16 brought some of the biggest runways that we ever saw in the history of Drag Race. And the queen who brought most of those runways was Sapphira Cristál. She has a number of looks that could appear on this list. I'm a big fan of her pumpkin look from the ball, but the one that I'm going to be going with is her flower runway. The flower runway was one of the best runways of season 16. Lots of queens did a great job. I want to call out Plasma specifically because hers was also amazing. But Sapphira's flower look was so over the top, so huge it couldn't even fit through the runway door. The look was so big, she actually had to take off 2 petals in order to be able to get through the door. This is what the entire look would have looked like if the Drag Race stage would have been bigger, and it sounds like it's going to be this year. Sapphira had applied for Drag Race almost a dozen times before she was finally cast, so she knew she had to come with the very best that she had to offer, and that's exactly what she did, and that's exactly why this flower look is on today's list. Many of the queens from UK vs. the World 2 brought their best looks. We had some amazing looks from La Grande Dame, from Kate Minaj, but the one I'm going to be including on this list is from Marina Summers. She came out with some of the best looks and the best performance the entire season, and for this runway, I will be including my favorite category from any All-Star season, When I Glow Up, which is where the queens take a look from their original season and improve upon it. Marina chose her Terra No Shibeta Don't look, which was the first runway ever from the Philippines. This is a national symbol in the Philippines, and she decided to do a modern take on that look. This is a look with so much glitz, so much glamour, so much history that it just stops you when you look at it. You could not look at Marina when she was on that stage. Marina came out and didn't win the season, but she truly won the hearts of fans and was the fan favorite for a reason, and one of these was this very runway. For this list, I tried to keep it so that there would only be one queen from each series that aired in the top 9. But this one was just too good to pass up. Also from UK Series 6, we have Marmalade's semi-final vinyl look. When you come out wearing a gramophone on your head, that's already going to be a showstopper. The amazing thing about this look was that Marmalade was able to marry 3 separate parts of the look with the vinyl skirt, the designed top, and the gramophone headpiece all together into a single cohesive look. This was the look that RuPaul could not get enough of when she was judging this series. Marmalade had one of the best runway packages in Drag Race history when she came out with these looks. And she could have had any number of looks on this list. She had an amazing premiere look. She had an amazing look for her design challenge. But I chose the semi-final vinyl as one of the best looks of 2024. Drag Race Down Under Season 4 was a huge improvement from the boring Season 3. We saw Michelle judging this show for the very first time, and we got some amazing queens with some amazing looks. I do, though, think that one queen stood out above the rest when it came to her runways, and that was Lazy Susan. She had a number of looks that could appear on this list, but I'm going to be focusing entirely on her Liquid Dreams runway. We had seen liquid runway reveals before on Drag Race. Just recently, on UK vs. the World Series 2, we saw La Grande Dame do a similar liquid runway reveal. What was amazing about Lazy Susan's is that it was completely unexpected. When she walked out on the runway, I was wondering, how is this related to the runway theme of Liquid Dreams? But then she was able to turn the spout on her hair to reveal the color of her look. And although I would have liked for it to reveal a bit more color more quickly on the runway, it was still completely unexpected and showcased just what type of queen Lazy Susan was. I think if there was one defining moment of this season, it was this runway, and I think that's why Lazy Susan walked away with the crown, because of this look. The important thing about Drag Race runways is not that it might affect the judging, because we've seen what that has done before. Instead, it could be that the queens are able to look good, but also make a statement with their look. We've seen this time and time again on Drag Race, and perhaps one of the most powerful reveals that we saw with a runway was Gottmik's tail runway on All Stars 9. Gottmik is very out and proud about her trans journey, and this look was a perfect showcase of what that was like. It's uncomfortable, but it's also beautiful, and it tells a story that not a lot of other looks could on the runway. Before anybody comes for me about this Drag Race theme, this was the tail runway, and Gottmik had a pretty long ponytail to go with the look. Gottmik captured her experience and put it up on stage for everyone to see, and she made it beautiful. So that's why we've got Gottmik on this list. When I make these videos, I like to consult across different Drag Race sources. So whether that's Reddit, whether it's Twitter, whether it's other gay people that I speak to that watch the show, and just see what they think of this topic. For the best look of Drag Race in 2024, it's a pretty easy decision no matter who I spoke to. For the first design challenge on season 16, it was the mother of all balls. And for the design look, the queens had to create the Call Me Mother / Father eleganza, where they created a look out of men's clothing. This was really where we saw Nymphia Wind, the eventual winner of the season, come alive with her look. She's known as the Yellow Queen, and she held on to that yellow while elevating it with some additional elements. She used ties to create a sort of pleather look that showcased just what type of queen she was and just how talented she was. There's not much else that I can say here other than she made a look that looked like it was in motion when she was standing still. I don't know. An amazing look, an amazing queen that rightfully won her season and rightfully wins this list. What was your favorite look of 2024? Let me know in the comments and give the queens the shout out that they deserve. And stay tuned for more stuff here on Wild Spear.